Hello, Ken. Thanks for tuning back in. This is my fan analysis of the upcoming matchup between the Michigan State Spartans and the Youngstown State Penguins. So, what do I think about this game going into it? I expect it to be a lot like the Michigan State Northwestern game. I expect Michigan State to run the ball a lot and to be really effective at it. Do I think the Youngstown State Penguins have a chance at an upset? No, I don't. Not even a little bit. Why am I not worried, you might be asking? Well, because Michigan State looked like a very disciplined and well-coached football team, and they have the better talent. So with those two things combined, I feel like a big upset here would be pretty unlikely. Usually upsets happen if you have an undisciplined, young, inexperienced, prone to mistake sort of team. Even if you have the better talent, mistakes in football can be killer. And we saw that last week in the Montana-Washington game where Washington fell to Montana and they threw 3 interceptions. So mistakes are killer no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing them. If you make a lot of mistakes, you get a lot of penalties, a lot of turnovers, that can kill your football team, even if you have more talent on the field. It's for those reasons why I don't think Michigan State's going to have a problem in this one. I don't foresee any sort of crazy upset. Michigan State was solid. They did not commit a lot of penalties. They didn't commit any turnovers against Northwestern, who may not be as good as traditional Northwestern teams, or at least as good as they've been the last couple seasons, but they are certainly a more talented team than I expect we'll see out of Youngstown State. The other reason why I don't foresee an upset is because Youngstown State, in their win last week against Incarnate Word, did all their damage on the ground, just like Michigan State did in their game. And I find it highly, highly unlikely that Youngstown State is going to be able to run the ball as effectively on the Michigan State defense as they did against Incarnate Word. That doesn't mean Youngstown State can't throw the football, but in a matchup where I expect the teams, not that I know a lot about Incarnate Word or Youngstown State, but based on the score is a close game, I expect those teams talent-wise were pretty even across the board. I'm assuming a lot of things here, but even in a matchup like that where they're playing a football team at their level, they decided to run the ball a lot and not really want to air the ball out. So I find it unlikely that they're going to be incredibly good at it, or at least good enough to really use that to overcome the talent disparity that they have when facing Michigan State. Michigan State's at home. That definitely helps. You get the home crowd there. Hopefully they fill out Spartan Stadium. I know it's only Youngstown State, but you got to show up and support your team. I don't think that Youngstown State has a prayer of stopping Kenneth Walker after what he displayed in the matchup with Northwestern. He was just an animal, and Youngstown State would have to do a very incredible job of playing team defense. Not one person's going to be able to bring him down. You're going to have 2, 3, 4 guys at the point of attack to try to bring him down, and I don't see that many guys getting off or defeating the blocks of Michigan State's offensive linemen and tight ends. So that's kind of my quick take on the upcoming game. Where's Michigan State at? What do we want to see out of Michigan State? Well, we want to see them dominate in the run game again. Anytime you got a good run game, that is good. That's what I'm trying to say here. That is a good thing for future games. Establishing the run can be very, very helpful, especially for a quarterback who has been a bit up and down recently. Especially last season, Peyton Thorne was a bit up and down. He kept getting pulled for Rocky Lombardi. Now, in week 1 against Northwestern, Peyton Thorne looked good. He did everything he was supposed to do. What do I want to see out of Peyton Thorne this week? A splash play. Just one. Hit a deep ball. Hit that big play that you didn't hit last week. That's why he felt like a game manager to me last week. He just was efficient at getting the ball where it needed to go, but it was all a lot of underneath stuff, a lot of easy throws. He's got a lot of speed at wide receiver, and I would like to see him hit a big play, a 60, 70-yard touchdown bomb. Can he make that throw? Can you make the teams that you're going to face after Youngstown State game plan for your ability to do that? We haven't seen it so far, so I expect I don't know if Youngstown State will do it, but I expect teams, if they don't show that, then I expect teams, especially Big Ten teams, to start to roll the safeties down into the box and say, we don't think your quarterback can throw over the top. Yeah, your wide receivers might be able to get a step on our corners. Your quarterback hasn't shown he can hit that pass. We're going to roll everybody up and take our chances. I think that will happen at some point until Peyton Thorne proves he can hit that pass. So I'd like to see that. Other than that, I'd like to see him continue to be efficient. You don't have to be a world beater. Not every throw has to be a bomb. Not every throw has to be a touchdown. You only need 1 or 2 of those throws. Just enough to make opposing defenses know that if they give you that kind of look, you can take advantage of it. That's all I need to see out of them. Other than that, continue to do what you're doing. Don't turn the ball over because, again, turnovers are killer. Take care of the football and everything will be fine. Offensively, I'd like to see just a lot of the same. Execute the plays, not a lot of penalties. Everybody's doing their assignment. Everybody's playing solid, sound football. That's all you need to see out of this game. Just run the ball. Maybe hit a splash play or two in the passing game and walk away with your win. That's all you need. Defensively, I would like to see a little bit improved play out of the defensive backfield. If I had to pick a weakness for the Michigan State defense, it would probably be the corners on the outsides and linebackers. Obviously, it didn't hurt them in the Northwestern game, and I'm not trying to say that those guys are like, oh, that's a huge weakness. Those guys are going to get burned constantly. Not what I'm saying. I'm saying of the components that they have of their defense, those were the weakest points. I thought defensive line and safeties played really, really well. So it's a bit of a mixed bag, and honestly, I feel like it's a little bit of technique from the corners, which happens because they're young, don't have a lot of gameplay experience. So how much did you learn from the Northwestern film? This is when we're supposed to see the biggest jump, so can you take care of your assignments? Can you really lock in on the wide receiver and do your job? Just show me improvement. You don't have to make interceptions. You don't have to make all kinds of crazy plays. Just show me that you can stick with the wide receiver and make every pass that the quarterback throws difficult. You're going to get beat sometimes, but you need to make those difficult throws, so it puts more stress on the opposing quarterback. So not really looking for a lot of big things out of Michigan State. You know, just clean up some of the assignments that were maybe a bit lacking in the game against Northwestern. I mean, it's not like Northwestern really exposed a lot of that, but they did pass for. They did once Hunter Johnson settled in a little. He never really settled down much, but even as flustered as he looked, they had some success in the passing game. So corners, make sure you stick with your man and show me that little bit of improvement just from a technique standpoint. Is your footwork right? Are you turning out of the wide receiver breaks? You know, that sort of thing. Yeah, that's really all I got on this one. I know it's Youngstown State, but it doesn't. Every game matters, and if you fall asleep on any opponent and make bad plays, force a lot of balls into bad places, and they create a lot of turnovers, then they can surprise you. So don't let that happen. Take care of your business and continue to run the football. I would like to see the backup running backs play a little bit more in this one. I only want to see Kenneth Walker for the first quarter. Just let him get out there, let him get in his rhythm, let him get you a 2-3 touchdown lead, and then start to rotate in Joyner and Collins, and just see what those guys are bringing for your team. And kind of use this as you've seen what Walker can do, use this as a bit more of a benchmark to how many carries those guys should be getting in each game throughout the season. If they show you something against Youngstown State, maybe you give them a couple more carries in the next one. See if they continue to build on that success. If not, maybe you limit them to only 5 carries per game, somewhere in 5 to 7. So I would say, as great as Kenneth Walker looked, you'll want a number 2 back to give some more carries to, at least a number 2, if not 2 and 3, just so Walker doesn't get worn out as the season goes on. I think they intend to run him a lot. I don't blame them. That's a good plan. But also, you got to be careful to manage how many carries he gets throughout the course of the season, because you don't want to get late in the season and have him just run down. He's gonna need his legs under him when your bigger opponents come up later in the season. So those are a few things we're looking at here. Nothing major. I don't expect this to be a difficult game for the Spartans. I expect Michigan State to take care of business and win by, I'm going to say 24. I think Michigan State wins by 24. I think that Youngstown State might get a big splash play here or there if they can get a wide receiver that they like against one of Michigan State's corners. But it's going to be difficult. I'm going to say Michigan State by 24. I could easily see that margin being bigger than that. Don't send me the hate, all right? I'm just saying. I could definitely see the margin being bigger than that. I'm going to say 24, but I'm just throwing out a number, you know. It's early in the season, and I have not watched any Youngstown State. I looked at the stats, and that's about it. So that's my prediction for the game. Those are the things I'm looking for out of the Spartans. I know it should be an easy game, maybe a little bit of a boring game. But watch the position groups and see where you think they may be improved. Watch the corners. Does their technique look good? Does their footwork look good? Are they turning? When the wide receiver breaks into his route, are they opening their hips the right way? A lot of little things like that. Just watch for that stuff if you get bored during the game. Keep an eye out for some of those things. But that's it on this one. Remember to like, subscribe, comment down below. Hit that notification bell. Hopefully I got the volume figured out finally. My apologies on the first two videos. I know the background volume kind of drowned me out a couple times. It was a bit of a work in progress, but I think I got it figured out. Also, don't send me any comments about how this is Ball State, okay? I do not have Youngstown State in this game, so I at least got the colors close, right? Youngstown State is not in this game, so that's why it's Ball State. Don't send me comments. I know it's not the right team, okay? I did the best I could. But that'll wrap it for this one. Remember, all love, all the time. Peace.